Okay, lined up, ready to go. We've already got clearance, so let's get it going. Okay, get up to 80 knots pretty quickly. 80. 100. I didn't set the VR speeds, but about 130, 140. 130. Okay, up we go. Positive rate. You're up. I've set the flight control buttons aiming 20 as they are in 24. Okay, I'm going to manually fly this again a bit. I normally would, in my old controller, would slam on autopilot straight away. But I hand flying this. We need to trim it a bit. That sound you hear is me using the trim button.
Logan 7, contact Gander Center 124.6. Have a good day.
Over to Gander Center 124.6. Thank you. Good day.
My pleasure.
Gander Center with you at flight level 226000. 07.
Aircraft calling. Say call sign.
Log Air 07 with you at 2600 for 6000.
Logair 7, Gander Center. Identified. Climb flight level 190.
Climb to flight level 190, Wilco 07. Right, we're a little bit right of, let me put it on autopilot because I've got to put in the altitude. What's flight level 190? That's the over. Right, we'll see how 24 performs. Pretty cloudless over here at the moment. These engines like we're actually gaining it. Okay, that's put back stress on. I don't know, so that was an error. But made worse by the fact that when I pressed the slew thing earlier, you set them out to put them back again. Okay, well that's fine. We're at cruise speed, or climb speed. Zooming up for flight level 190. Canada, Goose Bay. We salute you. Thank you for your self-passage and your wonky taxiways. I mean, I've got traffic on, but you know, I'm not seeing anything. I could whack it up a bit. Up density 4. Right, so let's have a little look. We are flying out to Tudor, not Tudor, but Tudor, and then Port Rob. I want to try and ask for a direct after that route to miss out Topsail. It might save us a bit of time, but not sure. Beyond ATC will do it. Let's have a look. We've got weather. I haven't got it turned on. But we'll probably know the States is having quite some bad weather in some places. Quite a lot of bad weather at Pennsylvania, but I think that's moved on, they've still got this stuff out here, which is, where's this? I'm going to turn down the outside engine a bit because we like look. Right, what are we looking at? Weather. Yeah, so we've got some pretty bad weather wherever this is. Greensboro. Some of the weather you get in the States is very frightening. You know, what with your tornadoes and your massive... it doesn't really look like we're going to hit any weather coming down to Rochester. So here's the border, this dotted line. So once we get to Sannin or whatever and come up over this body of water, we basically cross over from Canada to States. Again, don't forget this isn't necessarily showing cloud, it's showing like rain and storms, so we'll still probably have some cloud. En route, he's going to hopefully route us up to 38,000 feet shortly.
Low gear 7, climb flight level 380.
Yeah. Up to flight level 380, thank you, log air 7. Okay, so up to 38. Number up here. You hold the shift key down. When you do it, it does turn faster in most planes. Okay, so transition altitude, I think for Canada was a lot less. We probably should have switched already. 18,000 in the States. By this approach chart. Why is this departure not pinned? Kind of weird. I don't have a chart for it. Right, I'm going to go to standard anyway. And the lights can come off. And take the fasten seatbelt signs off. We can move around. I've put a nookie in the back if they want. Anybody wants any nookie? Does this remember if this nookie cabin? Is there a door here? I think there's a door here. Yeah, there you go. Now if you want any how's your father, you can do that. Right, we're off and running. We are already over 20,000 feet. 18 to go. Right, I'm going to get a drink. You put us on 2412, which we're on. I've not had any changes to that. Let me set this to 50 miles or so. The option again. Go with the radar. Up here as well. A little bit. Well, right, more than 50 miles out. But yeah, these I've got 6 times frame gen on SU6. The numbers are as clear as day. I get a little bit blurring on the propellers and stuff, but I mean, I've been reading that it's completely broken on console for SU6. But I mean, I have got a 5070 Ti card, so it is the latest card that does it. But I'm surprised how good they've got this, because if I go into dev mode, I'll be running like 280 frames per second or something on times 6 frame gen, and if it looks as good as this, then that's fine for me. But we still do get stutters and stuff to do with some of the weather and Microsoft, but that seems to be a 24 thing rather than... So we did the other legs in 2020, we're doing this one in 2024 as a bit of comparison. At the moment it's a little bit worse because of the things that are broken with the plane, but it's not that I haven't had any issues in 20 either. But there's so many things with weather and Navigraph, and you know, press a button and suddenly the GPU appears, and it's weird. And this plane now I've had in 20 and 2020, it won't. Sometimes initially, the thing is, it did before, and then the last few flights, even when the park and brake off, it won't move. The only way I clear it is by going into slew mode. But I think there's some kind of conflict going on between this plane and the Sims in both versions, to be honest. I think that's not a workaround, it's been flying fine. Yes, no, for today, we're just doing Rochester for today. Rochester's the first US destination. We'll probably have another 3 or 4. The final destination is San Jose in California. That'll be done in other parts. I'm going to do multi-legs across the United States and Spain. So, yeah, there'll be quite a few more videos after this one. I think it's probably best with the size of the legs to almost do a video per leg now. So this just gets us across Canada. We've got masses of Canada to cross, really, and then we get into the States. And then, you know, I've got to do somewhere like here, and then somewhere like here. He stopped up at Vegas, and then San Jose is just south of San Francisco. KSJC, this is where we're going. So yeah, we'll have several different legs across the States, as it's so massive. Obviously, if we were in a big commercial plane, but that isn't the point. This video is, as you know, is inspired by the Fly with Owen, where he actually was ferrying this plane from Guernsey, following pretty much the same route that we've done, or we're following his route.
Logair 7, contact Gander Center 128.175. Good day.
Over to Gander on 128.5. Thank you. Goodbye.
Negative, Gander Center on 128.175.
Oh, 175. Over to Gander Center 128.175. Thank you. There is some. Actually, just 7 on this one.
My pleasure.
At least they're not too anal about you. Gander Center, this is Logair 7 with you at flight level 300-4380 en route to Orub.
Logair 7, Gander Center identified. Swiss 80 Heavy, contact Gander Center 127.675.
Center on 127.675, Swiss 80 Heavy, bye-bye.
I did put premium controller voices on, so I'm already down at 37,400, so we've already used about 10,000, 11,000 premium characters. Can I probably turn it off? I can't really tell the difference too much. But beyond 80, Day Intentions, which is better, is like £190 a year. It's like, you know, 14, 15 a month or something. Okay, we're still climbing. Okay, I just need to make sure the speed doesn't go, so we don't have auto throttles, we don't have VNAV. A few miles to board up, and then 245 miles to Babaru. KROC is nearly, oh, I've already done, was like 1,000 nautical miles, which the range of this plane is fuel and passengers and stuff. Maybe get it up to about 210, 215 once we get up to cruise altitude.
Gander Center, United 9034 Heavy, flight level 359er. Continue descent to flight level 350, United 9034 Heavy.
So again, we should have these.
Contact Gander Center 127.675 Air France 908 Golf Heavy. Good day.
So these are real aircraft taken off by radar. But it's only showing stuff within a certain range, and it's also showing less, a little bit based on my settings of how much injected traffic to have. So there's this United Airlines here, 36,000 feet. And it's going from EDDB, which is, I was going to say, EDB I think is Netherlands or Denmark or something. Maybe it's Edmonton. Flying to KEWR, whatever that is. All the US airports start with a K. Britain G, of course. And Canada's all start with a C. CYYR was where we took off. I've got some nice pretty clouds here. We must be close now to cruising altitude. 35. And a bit to go. Where did I want to try and do that redirect from? Babaru. Anywhere. Get a direct to Sanin or cut out and go sort of across. Anywhere just after Tabrou if you can get a direct to Sanin, but probably won't. Cutting out. At this end you can't really tell this 20 and 24. Yeah, so 20 is not as bad as people. As I say, if you've got a really modern GPU, then you can get a lot better frame rate performance out of the multiple frame gen. You store less on your physical machine because it's streaming all of it in. Some of the night lighting and lighting is better in 24 than 20, but otherwise, yeah. I mean, both sims really were pretty crap the first 2 years. Gucci now. Okay, so we're going to get the bong a little bit when we get to 37. Speed is getting a little bit dicey slow. Give it just a bit more power. We're already at max RPM. Just this last 1,000 or 2,000 feet in this plane. So technically I think we'll go to 41, but I think I tried once and I was up at 39 and it wouldn't climb anymore. But a lot of that final climb performance is based on weather, fuel, air density. You know, just because the plane can say it can fly to X, but 38,000 is its normal maximum climb. The think in a lot of the flights I with Owen did, they were like 33, 36 or something. They went to size 38. Interesting to see what he flies at when he goes across the States. I think he's done all the trip. He puts the videos up every few weeks or something. So my trip from Greenland to Canada is up on the YouTube page as of today, as are all the previous ones. Okay, outs captured. Nose down. That climbing speed. Once I get the speed up a bit, I'm going to bring the RPM down to 1800. Bring it back.
Center on 127.675, Air Canada 913, have a good day.
Was that for me? Air Canada 913, not someone else. Are you ready to fly one of these yourself yet then, Watson? Program it right and there. Cake. Gonna have my last nectarine. Actually, it's not a nectarine, plum. You'd struggle to switch it on. You mean you've not memorized my start procedure?
Good day.
It's usually battery or ground power first. Avionics, so you can see what you're doing. But planes get their power basically three ways. Battery, which they all try and avoid if they can, because it's the least efficient, wears out the battery and everything. So battery, and if you don't, if you're fortunate enough to have a ground unit, you know, if you're a private plane, they'd probably have one at the FBO. So you don't have to use the battery, you'd start under the ground power unit. And obviously the bigger jets, the more commercial jets, some of the bigger have the APU, which is the auxiliary power unit, which is like a little mini jet. Once that spools up, it provides enough power then to then start the main engines. So yeah, and if you don't have an APU, then you've just got the two options: start under battery or start under ground unit. You know, once you've got some power, then you know you'll have an avionics button which will turn some screens on, and then you go from there. Can't start engines without making sure you've got fuel going to them, so various planes will have fuel switches, because you could start the engine without fuel going to it, but then it's just going to just die on you because you're not giving it fuel. I mean, batteries, you know, obviously in our cars, you know, we've got an ignition and, you know, we all use batteries to start the car because you don't have a ground power unit or anything to hand, so planes are the same, but as I say, they always try to minimise. The batteries will come in when you're often at foreign airports, you're away from base, but wherever you base the plane at. And even if you don't have your GPU, if the airport's got a GPU service, then you know you would pay. I don't know what the money would be, but you would be like, "Can I get a ground power unit?" You know, and start it that way. We'll get you flight sim ready for starting some planes. Right, so we're already up at cruise. Pretty easy departure and routing. Did put the flaps away, so that's good. I was a little bit late on that one. Got a little bit of weather on the radar in front of us, but we'll probably be above it. See here, we're going to turn before it anyway. So sit back, relax, a bag of peanuts. We haven't really worked out about the picture taking away for 24. I still can't find which folder they're in. And F12 doesn't work because we're not using Steam. There's the showcase one. There's the flyby thing. Well, there is a flyby mode. Just see if that is a keyboard. What we might be able to set it is a flybys.
Center on 123.7 Foxtrot Whiskey Uniform Sierra.
Gander Center, Postman 378, heading flight level 388. Continue descent to flight level 370, Postman 378 heavy.
No. I don't want to mess things up too much mid-flight, but there is like the camera stays still and the plane flies past it. Somebody can let me know. So yeah, we're quite But probably about 90% of this flight was still over Canada. All this, you know, we don't get into the States really until just as we get to approach. I think Rochester is in New York State, isn't it? Or is it? New York State's massive, it's sort of all up here. I don't think we've got state borders on the map, but we'd have a quick look at
Contact Montreal Center 132.45, American 41 Heavy.
yes. Yeah, this shows the states. So New York is right down in the state, but well, I'm just saying. Let's see New York here. So New York State goes up right to the Canada border and right over to Toronto. Pennsylvania's this block below it. A lot of people don't realise how big New York State is, and Rochester, yeah, it is in New York State. So if we look at Rochester, I mean, it's a big place. So the airport is, I think, are we coming to this or not? No, I don't think we're going. Sec. Maybe we are. It's south of the centre of the city and the railway, so maybe it is. Frederick Douglass then. At the moment, we plan for this runway 6. Not 2628. Yeah, that's the runway we're going to be landing on. Where's the GA aircraft in it then? Looks like maybe they're up here. Obviously the main terminals are here. Just have a look at the airport's gates. Some of these maps say general aviation. I mean, planes we're using are sort of mixed. They are sort of GA, but the private jets, so often airports will have private FBOs, but jets and things like that. So yeah, we got a 4,000 foot runway, a 6,000 foot front, and we've got a third runway, which is the 8,000 foot runway. Have parking gates map. See that there's FBOs here, but FBOs are quite business operations. It actually looks mostly FBOs look like they're off this runway. Kind of makes sense because it's near the smaller runway. So it doesn't really matter. We'll probably come then down to the parkings, ramp numbers, like ramp 800 or something. 700.
Moncton Center, Scandinavian 907, flight level 360.
That's camera. Oh, just know what the camera function's called. There's a thing that allows you to have a drone flyby camera view. where it's sort of focused on your plane, but the cameras stand still and you go flying past it. I've seen others press. You can just press a button and you go to that mode. So it'll be whatever the Microsoft 24 camera mode is for flybys. So this is the ramp we're looking at. Actually, no planes aren't in this picture, but this is pretty much, yeah, flight school, US airports, planes here. So we'll come down to this place of parking now. You can request ramp 700, 800, 300 even. We're going to land on runway 28. If we don't mess it up, we should be able to come up at Lima or Delta. Hopefully, one of those two. If it's Delta, then we just carry straight on across this runway into, let's say, ramp 300. We come up at Lima, then we can go Lima, Lima, Echo Golf. Yeah. Okay. Pretty straightforward. And then this is our ILS in. Actually got an ILS to lock in on. We'll probably come off early again, try and do a nice manual landing, because I've got the new controller. It does make it a lot better. But B-Law at 2,300, and then ILS catches at 2,100. Transition altitude 18,000. Airport runway is going to not be higher, I wouldn't have thought, because it's right near the coast. Vision height 820, climb 2,000, climb left. This thing doesn't have ILS Cat 2 or Cat 3, or so it probably is a Cat 1. Rated. But B-Law wants 2,300, and that is 7 miles, and about 12 miles out from the airport. Place your camera somewhere and it'll track the plane. Yeah, I've got the drone camera. I mean, this is drone camera. But there's one where the camera's placed sort of ahead of you and fixed, but they obviously don't call it flyby. I would have thought it's one of these. I don't want to mess up my settings, but you usually can press a key. Just switch to it. E command and then back again. I don't see. But it's not about placing your camera, because I've seen other people, they just hit the button and it just sort of puts the camera ahead of the plane to the side, and it just allows you to watch it fly by with the and you get a better idea of the engines. You need to have just a button press for it. Right, so once we're at Abreu or just past it, I might see if I can do that thing. Now what I want to do is just lean these engines off a bit. 260, so going back to out here. 95. Like doing it with the mouse is pretty. Should be flying really about 15 or something a bit high. But I think in the real plane they fly about 1780. I tend to find under 1800s a bit. Usually it loses a little bit of speed. It's pretty hard to do the micro adjustments without the lever controls. I only knew how to take a picture. There is you can do the, is it Control V or Shift V? Goes into this sort of this type of camera mode, but I don't really want to do this mode. But I also need to find where they store them because I've lost where it stores it and I couldn't find it on the way. Yeah, I need a button press, not one press. Into drone mode. Yeah, but I need a button press. I don't want to be. Reset position, just puts you back to where you set it. Won't be these. Don't want it to auto do that. I want to, zoom in and out with my mouse. But I know other people have just got it as a button press. User just, that sort of stuff. But what I want, showcase. Camera. Nothing in fixed camera. Don't want to change this too much because that's all. Yeah, I don't know. Need to be careful because you can easily bugger up your flight or something. Right, still got 115 miles to go to Abaru. Well, I've changed I pressed the N key to get to my drone camera view, and then I use my mouse, look around, zoom in and out, that stuff. Pressing all kinds of buttons, leaning on my joystick. Okay, going well. Hit the flaps here then. And it's all, you know, it's different stuff on 20 from it is for 24, so replay clause. Not that. I think there's a replay. I don't know. It's just like a camera view, like I press a key to do that and switch. You can press a key and it just goes to like a fixed camera point. You know. Got to set it up and then probably have a key. I don't want it to track the plane. I just want it to watch it fly by. This is tracking the plane. This is the drone camera.
Moncton Center, Emirates 2 Lima Kilo Heavy, flight level 370.
Not camera, just less Rochester. It's sort of that, but I need a key command for it, but it's, I mean, no, it's... Then that's no good. Done now. No, right. Oh, I can. Right. But I know it can be done with just a key press. But yeah, it needs to be set up. Way my day's been going with the PC. So many problems today. My BIOS, SPs. Just under 100 miles now to the next market. I definitely think about getting Rex Core and data and stuff with it. Game. I don't know how many days. They got the TV license coming out any day, and then Navigraph is on the 8th. I think my car insurance is due in late October. And the service and the tax. Oh god, now I'm going to afford it all. Keep borrowing money all the time. Nice views out there now. A little bit higher cloud. Well as lower cloud. It's all of it, you know, unrealistic, a little bit blurry. I like this nose cam view though. Shift F, I don't know, could switch off my engines, like, no, it does nothing. Shift V does nothing. Please be careful, sometimes shift and you know, parking brake and engine cut-offs might control E, turns the aircraft on. Put the photogrammetry back on. I think it does look better, but I need from altitude. That's random. I'll leave it. Thanks for watching. I'll work it out another time when I'm not flying. I cleared a lot of the default commands, so my stuff's set up. So many. That Shift C takes me out of the aircraft, so that you know, literally jump out of the airplane. Got a little bit of altitude there. A little bit of turbulence. So, are we flying over any of the Great Lakes and stuff then? I guess you're going to be doing so to get to... This is Lake Ontario, isn't it? Lake Ontario? That's probably only the real major. The other lakes are all elsewhere. So massive. Although we fly over this, but I don't think this is a lake, is it? This is on Google Maps again. Lake Ontario, and then what's all this body of water here? Gulf of St. Lawrence. St. Lawrence River. Okay. Nova Scotia, New Scotland. But you know, all these places are named after places in England and or France and stuff, you know. Bangor, especially in the States. Birmingham, Stamford. Clifton Park, Peterborough, Hillsborough. I mean, most of them don't realise there's all these places. New London, Newport. You've got Rochester as well, Exeter, Portsmouth, Braintree, we've got a Braintree, Taunton, Warwick, Norwich, Wallingford, just took all our names of our towns and our counties and our villages and couldn't think up any new names, so they just, but you know, the northeast was colonised by people from England and the Irish and of course Canada, the French, so pretty much same up in Canada, a lot of these places, France and other places. Let's turn these lines off. Group weather. That. I think to do with the map mode here. Map layers. Five airports. What's infrastructure? It's not that. Open base map. All the NDBs away, but it's these lines. You can turn them on and off somewhere in Navigo. Joe will hide regional paper chart there. Got it like the airline paper charts. That's just the topography.
Moncton Center, Air Canada 913, good day, flight level 360.
Yeah, I'd have to ask Murphy or something on his channel. It's hard to get to chat to him on his stream because he has so many people on his channel and stuff, but he does it all the time. But so this is St. Lawrence that we're looking at in front of us here, then body of water. Pretty massive. Man, very pretty. I've flown over Canada a couple of times. I think when I flew Vegas, when I flew to San Francisco, I've been to San Francisco a couple of times. Vegas quite a few times. Although one of them was internal, but if it's doing it from the UK, you pretty much, you know, because if you go to Google Earth and look at the globe, you can see how, you can see better how everything's laid out. Google Earth had the globe thing that we could just look at. They changed it, it's not 3 or something?
Center on 123.925, United 906 tree heavy.
look at.
Moncton Center, Scandinavian 903 Heavy, flight level 3901. Continue descent to flight level 380, Scandinavian 903 Heavy.
I can't seem to get Google Earth.
Our back.
I came across this the other day, which is interesting. I mean, I've got a nice chair that, I mean, they're expensive, but they're not as like $599. But look at this thing, right? So it's got a place for you to put the joystick and stuff on the sides, and it's got straps and stuff. But it's like on wheels. But it's like a flight chair, but obviously if it's on wheels, you know, it works like an office chair or something, so not sure how comfy it is though, but this thing's on wheels as well. That's a comfier chair, but Flight Sim Edition, that one's cool. And then you got ones for like one day I'd have to have a different property. My place sucks at the moment. Not enough room to swing a cat, but yeah, I just thought it came up as an advert or something when I was like, oh, what are they? Like, interesting. This guy's got his VRs on. It's got a few tables. Bit of show, you know, I'm using like desktop or, of course, if you're not flight simming or something, you want something at the desk. You know, these are usually separate setups that you would have if you have the space, your keyboard, and there's loads of stuff there. You can get like fully built cockpits. But yeah, I mean, you know, compared to the cost of some of the things these days, I thought, well, you know, and the fact they're sort of on wheels, so if you had, you'd probably need some pretty tough carpet or coarse stuff underneath it, otherwise it would kind of ruin your wood flooring or wear out a thin carpet. But if you put a proper sort of heavy duty rug or something underneath it, then at least it's... But, you know, really I need to get a place that's got some decent sized rooms and everything, because, you know, I used to live in my house, you know, nine years ago or something. I was like homeless for about a year, really staying at mum's and dad's and stuff, and then been here and stuck in this tiny little flat since 2018. Look at those views, man. Wow, look at that. Bit of cloudage, bit of coastline. What's not to like there, eh? Let's look over this way. Nice.
Moncton Centre, traffic H41 heavy, good day, flight level 370.
Did I go past that cab route? Not yet, just about to go past it. Oh, actually no, we have gone past it. So yeah, I mean Tauno would maybe Tauno or San in. Let's see if we can get direct to Tauno, shall we? Centre, this is log Air 7. Can I get a direct to Tauno if possible? This is log Air 7 at flight level 380. Is it possible to get a direct to Tauno? Beyond ATC can. Moncton Centre, this is log Air 7 with you at flight level 380. Can I request getting a direct to Tauno? Toxel was too far from your current position. I didn't say Toxel. Moncton Centre, that's Tauno, Talno. Moncton, this is log Air 07. Can I get a direct to Tauno, Talno? Tauno is too far away, at least it's alright. Yeah. I mean, there's no point me saying direct to Toxo because that's where we're going anyway. Let's try Ebdot. I mean, I might be able to go direct to Tauno once we get down here somewhere, but we're heading further east than we need to potentially go. But Moncton Centre, this is log Air 7. Can I get a direct to Ebdot? Ebdot is too far from your current position, it says. So, beyond ATC, it's beyond their capabilities. Try a little bit later when we get nearer, but that's probably not going to get too much nearer to the next point. It's not going to matter anyway.
Contact Moncton Center 132.8, UPS 207 heavy, take care.
So we've just flown over whatever this place is. Seples. That's pronounced. French people here. French Canadians. Port Carter is just behind us to the right. Quite misleading because so that's this port. And there. I think Microsoft Flight Sim 20, like, you know, this looks a bit blurry at this altitude because it's not drawing it in at this altitude, but in 2020 you get more definition, but the colours aren't quite so good. It's weird. And then this is photogrammetry. This is because it's using photogrammetry or whatever. It's got like satellite pictures stitched together, but then it makes it look like it's a motorway. It's actually not. That's just the satellite data stuff. But you know, who knows in the next 10 years how this is all going to improve. You know, getting real-time satellite data that's almost live. You know, it won't be live like for defense reasons, but you know, if you've got live data from just say some days ago streamed. Somebody doesn't fly boxing yourself or whatever, you've probably seen more imagery now from 38,000 feet than a lot of people.
Left Air Canada 913.
Sale now on at AO. Get savings on TVs, fridge freezers and washing machines from brands like Samsung, Haier and Dyson. All from
degrees outside, 24 degrees in the PC room. It's a delight. Still 1.5 degrees hotter than it is outside, but I have had the PC on pretty much all day, haven't I? All morning. Football starts this weekend coming, doesn't it?
Contact Montreal Center 123.925 Scandinavian 907. Center on 132.8, Emirates 2 Lima Kilo Heavy.
I normally watch the footy every week. Yeah, when the seasons, if the games are on, because I do have Sky Sports.
Mountain Center, United 125 Heavy.
I've had to give up
flight level
TNT though when I switched. But they've lost the rights to a lot of their stuff. I don't overly watch too much of the other games. I tend to just watch my team. I mean, if it's a cup match or something, then I will do. I'm losing interest in a lot of sports at the moment though, just because of advertising and how money is ruining all the sports that I enjoy. Rule changes and silliness and stuff, so I prefer football without VAR, you know, when a goal was a goal and you didn't have to spend 7 minutes checking if it was a goal. You know, I'm a big F1 fan, but you know, I still think probably in the late 80s when I watched it with Mansell and Senna and stuff was peak. Yeah, people clipped a corner and put their wheels on the grass, they weren't punished or given a time penalty. It was just like, if you want to drive off the track, it's always slower off the track than it is on the track. Yeah, I guess, you know. Not just that, but like they keep faffing around with the cars, trying to just become all big business now everywhere, and it must be, you know. I also watch, I'm an Eagles fan, so I like to watch the Eagles games in the NFL. They start in September, but the Sky Sports, they just have like a Friday game and a Sunday game, so I only tend to get to see 2 or 3 Eagles games before the playoffs. I think they try and cover all the playoff games and stuff, but in the season you can pay a subscription. It's about 10 quid a month, I think, to watch your NFL team, but I mean it's 16-17 weeks of games, so it's quite expensive if you were just trying to do that, because it's not. But watch a little bit of the NFL, the football and the F1. I mean, sometimes, like, I don't know, let's say Liverpool and Arsenal are playing, so I don't really sit down and watch the game, but I'm on the computer or something, I'll sometimes just have it on in the room. I live alone and stuff as well, so sometimes I'll have the TV on just to sort of make the place feel less lonely. Yeah, and just sort of noise on in the background. I mean, I'm trying to do a little bit less of it because of electricity use, and obviously in the summer and the hot weather it's been too hot to have devices on if you don't need them. But a lot of the sport that I watch and like though is mostly through the winter months, I guess. I used to watch more tennis and cycling and even snooker and stuff, but I don't really watch much of those now. I can't really afford to watch what I do watch anyway, but if it wasn't for the PC and the sport, I don't know what I would do with myself really. At least it gives me something to look forward to in some sort of format of looking forward to something. The NFL, I think the pre-season stuff is, but the NFL season starts about quite late, so it's like 18th, 20th. Pre-season. Pre-season stuff anyway, because don't even play the proper players or something. I'm trying to find the Eagles on pre-season 1. They got thrashed 24-7 against the Ravens on the 16th of August. Eagles v the Patriots in week 2, August the 23rd, that's a Sunday.
I keep thinking about doing my MTD.
But the season 3, there'll be pre-season 4. Well, actually, no. The week 1 is, well, looks like there's a Thursday game of Patriots Seahawks. So a little bit earlier than I thought. So that the Eagles play their Commanders, obviously used to be called the Redskins, on September the 13th. That's a 9 o'clock game, so in fact that could be on the TV, but it doesn't. It's not till 1 or 2 in the morning. But if it's shown, I can record it and watch it in the morning or something. But the TV tends to show the Sunday night games, the Monday night games, and then it will show one 6 o'clock kick, 'cause usually in the UK it's a 6 o'clock kickoff and a 9 PM kickoff. So they'll usually use one match from 6 PM and one from 9 PM, but whether it's your team or not is mid-September anyway, by the look of it. Premier League will start, so we're crossing this water now. Not really on that path, am I? I'm on this path, so I think all our pressing buttons earlier. Yeah, I came off nav. Interesting. So are we to the left a bit? That's probably messing around here. Okay, so let's go heading pitch to the right until it catches the nav again. We weren't even in heading or nav. I'm sad, I didn't think we crossed over the water here, but just sightseeing. Like there's a port and harbour here. Would be this place, wouldn't it? An airport there as well. Forestville. So we captured the LNAV. Biggish town there as well. That is gonna be this place. Rimouski. Sounds Russian. Rimouski. Never heard of it. Still live in Rimouski, Canada. We're flying on down this St. Lawrence. I don't know if all of it's called the river. This bit's called St. Lawrence River, and the other bit I think is just called St. Lawrence Bay. Or how to get these things. I turned them on. I remember turning them on and then. Online traffic network settings. Night mode. These. What's those? Here we go. Angle at the top. Navigation map layers. Thing is, like these routes and stuff are actually quite useful.
Center on 123.925, Scandinavia 903 Heavy, good day.
I'll leave them off for the moment.
Center on 123.925 Foxtrot Whiskey Whiskey Uniform Sierra. Center on 123.925, Air Canada 913, have a good day.
Could try start. YouTube have got this thing with the vertical setting, vertical layout. That's full stream. I can turn it on in the middle of it. Need to make it so I mean, I have to give it a go at some point, because not really the most ideal thing to watch from your phone or something would be flight sim, but you know, a lot of people are on the go who watch a lot of stuff in a vertical layout. Actually got some line there. Which I'm probably not going to know how to put away now. Okay. Also got these things. Haven't really used yet, but if we're flying directly into the sun, and then you can let's slide further out without pulling it away. I would have thought this thing. Maybe they haven't modelled it. Normally you'd slide it. Seems to work, that one. A lie. Goes to the little hand for click spot. Guess that needs to be put away. Oh, yeah. I don't know, sort of cuts in on your view of it, doesn't it? Interesting. Right, I'm going to go to the boys' room. I'll be right back. This radio. Contact Molten Center 123.925 log SL.
Montreal Center, Ethiopian 553 Heavy, flight level 350.
This has been a wonderful 24 hours for me, yeah. This family I work for is on the brink of civil war. Right from the picking.
Like your style.
Right, where are we? Let me see if I get this direct to EBDOTS. Montreal Centre, this is log Air 7. Can I get direct to EBDOTS? Says it's too far. Well, it's no point me having a reroute if you can only bloody do it. It must, beyond ATC, it must have a range maybe then. They'll do it at. Do anybody on YouTube? Very quiet again over there. Thanks Boxing for hanging out, keeping the lights on. Nearly 100 views though. But I'm having to have a bit of cake and a biscuit without a tea or coffee because of my milk situation. I mean, when we're down here, I'm going to try again. But how far is that? It's 212 miles. We could try again in a little bit when we're maybe less than the 200 miles. But they might have a Beyond ATC may have a, I mean I can fly it anyway, but I don't really want to go here though, you see. It's nice and peaceful parts of Canada. I mean, any of the big cities. Going to be more in nature. I mean, just you got these cities around, and it's but how much space there is. I mean, we're flying twice the length of the UK or something, just... You could take the UK and slam it in our route. But like here must be quite nice, because it's protected, you know, you get all this, the weather from the east or the west, but on the St. Lawrence River, these towns here, I don't know, I'd have to look up what their temperatures, not the seasonal where we obviously got...
Center on 133.225, Scandinavian 903 heavy.
Lorettes. That's pretty big, but you know, out here, I don't know. Looks nice though, doesn't it?
Yo! Lone_Gameroo Playdeo for 1,000 channel points.
Got no drink. Coke earlier, but can't keep drinking it. I would murder a cup of tea right now, but I'm just too lazy to go down the shop. I mean, like, Canada's bigger than the United States, really. It's not in people, the cities. I fancy just saying the whole thing should be a 51st state. There's be so many people pissed off in. Alberta's massive. There's not a lot of people living out this way, but the Yukon. And gold and the minerals and stuff off in Alaska and the Yukon, British Columbia, Alberta. Right, I'm going to just try a call again at me. Enter this is log S7. Can I get a direct to EBDOT? Great. I mean, I could do it anyway. It's just a sim or something. I'm not stopping. I'm trying to stick to. So 119 miles plus 84. Direct to EBDOTS. Execute.
Ready for descent, Air Canada 913. Descend to 4,000 feet, altimeter 3017, Air Canada 913.
Okay, well that cuts out about 100 miles, I think, because it was 120 plus 80 something. 200, and now we've got 174, so it cuts out probably about 30 miles. Why this child, these things. Then mode deep focus. Okay, so that gets us a little bit, you know, we've got this voxel thing, where is it? Oh, here somewhere. Well, if I take it out of the planner, of it now. Even though I could do direct to these other things, they're not. They're all kind of in the direction we need to go. So, apart from coming south directly for we really want to route down there here.
Center on 132.35, Air Canada 913.
Montreal Center, United 125 Heavy. Good day, flight level 360.
'Have we got enough fuel though? I think I've been burning a bit too much fuel really. We've got 1200. Doesn't really seem that much to me. We took off with what, 1400 each, or was it? Used about half the fuel or something, but we're, I don't know, we have come quite a long way, I guess. We're more than halfway. Now in the real planes they would have, you know, you should have X fuel at X, so they'd actually have lots of checkpoints. You'd be able to check your actual fuel burn against what was predicted. Which I haven't got in the sim or something, but I don't think the Simbrief is playing. Some of the commercial ones in Microsoft Flight Sims do have doesn't it? I don't know, actual flight plan. I still got my Simbrief open somewhere. Of the fuel and I'm on target. This fuel source of it, add dots. or no Townsend. Well, we took off with 2501 in pounds. Got about 1200 left, and we're more than halfway, so but I don't know, is it here? I would have thought this should tell me what my fuel burn and what fuel I should have, but I can't see it unless I'm just MSA, trim, distance. I'm not sure what Tim is. I'm in. Wait a minute, that's. Most of them haven't, but some have less than others. 0.6, 0.61. I'm not doing that, am I? Oh, I'm doing max 660. Yeah. That's the time, 3 hours 39, but I think we might have lumped a little bit off that because A, we're flying a bit faster, and B, we cut out Oxlow. Yeah, anyway. So there are proper ways for the airlines and pilots to check their fuel burn, because even things like your wind, you know, if you're flying into wind, it's going to affect your fuel. You're going to use more fuel, so they have to calculate, check and monitor all that as well. I don't get all these airports, you know.
Contact Mountain Center 123.7, Ethiopian 553 Heavy.
Oh, we've got to go 105 then to Abdot, and then we get into I don't know. Ground speed, if we're flying into wind, we've got 59 knots. Ground speed's only 324. True airspeed 382. 36 minus 36 outside. It's actually quite high temperature for 38,000 feet. Oh, sorry, that's the R80. SAT is minus 55. That is good, that is good. Right, our descent's not going to be quite late, I think. We probably won't descend. I mean, this is 57 nautical miles. I don't know why, they're not talking to me now. Readability. Oh, I'm not getting the AI voices now. What's going on here? Oh, I've got it on off, that's why.
Logger 7, radio check.
Logger 7, beating you loud and clear.
Anyway, it'll be after Alaba. If I could get a direct from Alaba to Loreth, that would be, which we probably can do. I'll cut out quite a bit flying here and then to go down here. And supply of it. Kingston. Oh, he bands up a rain there, but nothing at the airport, it seems. Mind a little bit of weather. I'll see if I can get a direct to Loreth from Larba once we get there. Save us a bit more fuel and time. He's for the ill old Gandalf, man. Don't say that to a Brit. Practically American sargasso. Your syrups and your coffees. MAGA. Farming country down there, isn't it? All this water and stuff they've got. That's brilliant.
Montreal Center, United 125 Heavy, flight level 359er.
United 125 Heavy, Montreal Center identified. Air Canada 647, contact Montreal Center 134.4.
Center on 134.4, Air Canada 647.
Montreal Center, Air Canada 641, flight level 340. Air Canada 641, Montreal Center identified.
Hey Vintage, how you doing? Welcome back. Flight's going well. About 2/3 of the way to Rochester now from Canada. We're still over mostly Canadian territory, dipping in and out various zones, but we're pretty much passing Montreal en route to Ebdot and then across. Once we get to El Arbor, I might see if I can get a direct to the approach and just cut across. Have a bit of time. It won't give me direct twos on beyond ATC if I'm hundreds of miles out, so tried that.
Montreal Center, Air
Montreal over there.
Passing flight level 322, climbing to flight level 340.
Air Transat 486 Montreal Center, identify.
It's probably the longest leg so far. I mean, Glasgow to Iceland is quite far, but
Until I try this.
Air Transat 486, contact Boston Center 135.25.
but it's still only about 700 nautical miles to Iceland, and this is basically about a 1,000-mile leg that we're doing. Could be the longest of all of them, really, depending on what routes I choose to go across the states when we do future legs en route to California. Although our target is straight on ready, we're going to be turning right at Ebdot here. Worried about fuel, but you okay? I'm in the direct range. I do. 140 miles, something like that, nautical miles. Miles to the turn. Now, really. One coming in. Pretty. Everything looks wunderbar at 38,000 feet.
United 125 Heavy. Contact Boston Center 135.7.
Contact Boston Center 135.7, United 125 Heavy.
That there is Montreal Airport. It's a big one, isn't it? At least 4 runways, probably more because there's one. It's pretty flat around this area of Montreal though. Okay, so next is, oh no. So, I mean, Davda and Alava, I don't think planned in the, yeah, we've got the plugged in, we've got then San in. But I think then when we get about halfway between Sauno and Salin, somewhere around whatever this town is. Imagine that, looking at Morriston's, like looking at, you know, that's one country, that's another. You're back. You are asked out. Where's Pam?
AI agents. Well, hey, don't be scared. Here's how Monday.com makes agents jobs much easier, and they're going to take us to the next level. Whether you're a project manager, HR, or IT, things like planning, application sorting, or ticket triage that used to take up 60% of your day now happen instantly, and we just have to review and make adjustments. Secondly, they're built on Monday.com, so you know you get the best-in-class security. Most importantly, for me, they're easy to set up and work with. So it's just like having super reliable and fun new teammates. How did this change how I work? I can finally hit deadlines while getting better results and creating real impact. Big props to Monday for making this happen.
Log Air 7, contact Montreal, Center 134.4. Log Air 7, contact Montreal, Center 134.4.
Me. Yes. Over to Montreal Centre 134.4. Thank you, goodbye. Logger 7 with you at flight level 380. Just passing Plano.
Log Air 7, Montreal Center. Log Air 7, contact Boston Center 135.25.
Over to Boston 13525. Thank you, goodbye. Hello, Boston Centre. This is Log Air 7 with you at flight level 380, just passing Towner.
Log Air 7, Boston Center.
Yeah, that's this bit. Oh, I need to. You're just setting up long haul flights to the UK. Oh, very nice. We'll be happy to have you over here. Still trying to wake up. It's 9:55 AM for you. Do you like Texas way or something? If you're 6 hours different? Or... How long do I have left in the flight? Less than an hour, I think. Probably about 45 minutes. It's been quite a long one. Oh, your Pacific time, yeah, okay. Yeah, we won't do any more legs today, but once we get into Rochester in the States, we're then going to do something similar to this route, but we're going to San Jose. Is the thing gone? Close the video down. Route on it. But yeah, we'll be doing probably 3 or 4 legs across the states to get to San Jose, California as the destination. This sort of YouTube mini-series. So yeah, we've done Guernsey to Glasgow, Glasgow to Keflavik, Iceland, Iceland to Greenland to Narsarak, Narsarak yesterday to Goose Bay Canada, and then Goose Bay Canada down to Rochester is today's flight. I didn't fancy doing any big jets, so modelling it off something similar that I with Owen is doing in his videos that he posted. So I thought, well, I've got a P180. That Transatlantic Bridge looks fun. Get some more takeoff and landings in. Doing like an 11-hour non-stop flight in the 777 on a stream doesn't really appeal to me. Although you can use the speed up stuff in the MDGs. You're going via Gander and Prestwick. Where's your actual destination in the UK? Where are you flying to in the UK? EGL, they're going to Heathrow, yeah? Yeah, I only live about 12 miles away from Heathrow and stuff, so... Very nice. That sounds a long flight. I mean, we're doing long flights because we're using the P180, but various legs would say makes it easier. I'm having a few teething problems with this plane, both in 20 and 21. I'm having a few issues with it not moving up with parking brakes off and stuff, but it never used to happen, and now it started. And then the default airport at Goose Bay wasn't very flat in MS24, and the Simbrief function and the MCU is broken in this 24 version. It's fine in 2020, but yeah, the
Boston Center, Lone Gamer Air Kilo Hotel Echo 8310, 9 miles northwest of Kilo Papa Tango Delta, flight level 380. Request IFR to Rochester.
No, I didn't.
To copy.
No, I didn't. I've gone and pressed.
Lone Gamer Air Kilo Hotel Echo 8310 is cleared to Rochester Airport as filed. Squawk 1171.
No. Oh, pressing the control key to look at this is gonna bug it up my Beyond ATC now. Negative. Request IFR. Okay, 7.
Lone Gamer Air Kilo Hotel Echo 8310. Did you copy?
Boston Center, Log 7, unable to process the request. Please state your intentions.
Log S7, request IFR as planned.
Lone Gamer Air Kilo Hotel Echo 8310. Please acknowledge.
Plan remains unchanged. Continue as filed.
That other woman, that's something. I've gone and pressed the control button here. It's gone and done something with the ATC in the game. This is what I do at 24. Sometimes you does some weird shit, man.
Lone Gamer Air Kilo Hotel Echo 8310.
That is the game ATC talking to me about. I've got it all turned off. Assistances. Get off for this plane. It's off. On. AI radio ATC off, ATC off.
Acknowledge last transmission.
Oh, buggy as hell this game sometimes, man.
Lone Gamer Air Kilo Hotel Echo 8310. IFR flight plan is canceled. Radar service terminated. Squawk 1200.
Why is it even
Maintain
talking to
VFR.
me when the
Frequency change
ATC's off?
approved. Good day.
That's not beyond ATC, so... Yeah. But I bet you if you went to controls, looked at keyboard, I put in well, it was control and shift, I can't remember. I do control. I mean, there's loads of things with control. I did control 2 and shift 2, which is my camera things, but let me try shift. Save all this stuff really, I don't want any of it. Shift 2, VR camera reset. I don't know. This game sometimes just tests my patience. Oh, let's do a radio check on beyond ATC.
Radio check.
Log F7, reading you loud and clear.
I don't know how it's talking to me when I've got it turned off in the... Anyway, I was trying to show this thing that in the settings. So there's meant to be 2 lines of text here. It's in the 2020 version of the plane. And one of these is the Simbrief code. It's working on the tablet fine for the weights and balances, but it's not in there. I googled it and there's something in the forum and people blaming other people for it, and but it's a bit of a pain because I do like this plane and it's not really fully compatible with 24, even though this is the 24 version. Re-downloaded this plane for the correct version. You have to stop to refuel. What plane are you flying? Did you say? Oh, you're using the Lockheed Constellation. I guess, yeah, vintage pilot. You like flying the... I want them to do the Nimrod, the 70s, 80s, old RAF Nimrod.
Log F7, expect runway 22.
Runway 22. Negative, request runway 28. I'm gonna have a fight now.
Runway 22.
I don't want to do runway 22. Let's just check the weather. I will if the weather's changed. It could have done. KROC.
Negative runway 22.
There's a crosswind for runway 22. So his 28 does now have too much of a tailwind.
Log F7, Boston Center.
runway 22, Roger 7.
Oh,
Boston Center, Air Transat 890, flight level 301.
I don't think 22 has the ILS thing.
890 Boston Center, copy.
Archer arrived. Let's actually look. So yeah, 28's now changed. So if we change to 22.
Logger 7, contact Montreal Center 134.4, see you.
Over to Montreal Centre 134.4. Thank you. Bye.
You're welcome. Have a great flight.
Montreal Centre, this is Log Air 7 with you, flight level 30.
Log Air 7, Montreal Center.
Says it's not in use for runway 22. Why is Beyond ATC giving me a runway that's not in use? 22's this one. It's crosswind, which isn't very good. It's only 8 knots, but if the wind's coming from basically 12, why aren't they using runway 10 then? 10, the small one. 10's there. I was coming 10's the opposite to the 28. But the wind's sort of coming like this. I think Beyond ATC is really not that smart. Because look, runway 10. Let me see if I can request runway
Roger
change.
7, request runway change.
Log Air 7, enable runway change at this time.
Because it's using runway 10.
Log Air 7, descend, maintain flight level 360.
Descend and maintain flight level 360. Log Air 7. Right. Things are starting to go wrong. I want to do my cut. What would we do a VS to be more reliable? I wanted to get a direct to, didn't I, here as well? Tell you what, scrolling is so slow on anything these days. Not quite ready yet. I wanted to maybe get a direct, but we're now actually using a different runway supposedly. Changes runway on me. So KROC ILS22 Rock and Keki. Let's have a look. ILS22. Let's put in Rock. Where is Rock? What?
Air Canada 641, expecting member 9er with the ticket transition. Runway
Transition
06
Rock.
right.
Transition's the actual bloody aircraft.
Member 9er with the ticket transition. Runway 06 right. Air Canada.
Oh, I didn't want to do that. transition. I don't like it when Navigraph. I mean, Beyond ADC talks to flipping Navigraph. And it's like,
descend and maintain flight level 180.
descend to maintain flight level 180, log S7.
Log S7, leave and heading 201. When able, proceed direct Greater Rochester Airport.
Hit me with everything at the same time.
Leave heading 201 when able, proceed
What are we
direct
descending
Greater
to?
Rochester Airport, log S7.
180. Da-da-da-da-dum.
Log Air 7, contact Toronto, set a 134.575. Have a good day.
Over to 134.575. Thank you. Good day. So at 18,000 we can do the transition. And at that point, let's come off the power.
Toronto Centre, log S7 passing flight level 355, descending to 18,000 feet.
Log Air 7 Toronto Center identified.
Okay, so I want to, well, not to, maybe we won't do this direct to because of the route we're coming in, but fuck me man, I need to sort this out. So we're going to runway, I don't know, I've lost now. We're going to runway 2, I need approach ILS runway 2, we didn't like ROC because that's the airport. Go straight to the final. Just kick 8. Okay, so okay, and execute. Okay. So there's America. So a lot of people do use Rochester to get in and out of the States when they're doing Atlantic Bridge and stuff, because you know it's right on the coast between that and then their Canadian stops. But have I got any discontinuities now? Let's look at the legs. We have. Used to join Keke up to here. Right, I think I need to descend a lot quicker actually. Let's go 2-2. Backward a bit. We did look out the airport. It's pretty sea level, isn't it? 'Cause it's right next to the sea, so 5:59. Okay, well, higher than I would have guessed. Okay, we've got a transition at 18,000. Lights at 10. But I think we're chasing it a bit now. My cough is back. Damn it. Nimrod would be cool. Yeah. And the Vickers. There's a few comments in development for 2024, are there? For explain. Be nice. Pretty good weather. Few puffy clouds. What's the temperature at Rochester? It's probably be nice, wouldn't it? 23.9. I kind of think this wind is changing though, so but it's not particularly strong wind, so we should still be alright. We've got a few clouds at 4,500 feet. Is the actual METAR. METAR at KROC. This is the time. 54 Zulu. Wind 130, 8 knots. And then few at 045, scattered at 220, broken at 260. No real weather issues, just take into account what we're doing. If it is a crosswind, even 8-10 knots will. Because although there is an ILS, I'm pretty much going to manual fly it in once we get close enough. Try out the new joystick again. Right, 18,026. We're well above where we need to be. It's
Toronto Center, Endeavour 4931, passing flight level 340, climbing to flight level 360.
Endeavour 4931, Toronto Center identified.
Because again, I've got the wrong thing in here, and well, no, we've changed it. Okay, so what do we want? 2,500 for that. And we're almost at Sanin, and then it's. How long's the leg to KK? 65 miles. Okay, not too bad then. Catching up with the think guidance for the
Log Air 7, contact Montreal Center 124.275.
I'm swapping between Montreal Centre and Toronto Centre like crazy. Over to Montreal Centre 124.275. Thank you, Log Air 7. Log Air 7 with you at passing flight level 220 for 180.
Aircraft calling set call sign.
Log Air 007 with you at 22.
Log Air 7, Montreal Center identified.
Montreal Center, Rouge 1921, good day, passing flight level 175, climbing to flight level 360.
Rouge 1921, Montreal Center identified.
Power back in. It's 25 miles. We still probably don't need to go much above 250, but
Rouge 1921, contact Montreal Center 134.4.
I don't actually have a star.
Contact Montreal Center 134.4, Rouge
There isn't one.
1921.
Arrivals, nothing. So the runway heading is 224. Okay, gonna do this 90-degree turn. Not quite 90-degree, but one to go. As soon as I get to 18 now, I think he's going to give me 6,000-7,000 feet, if not direct down to the 2.5. A-turn coming in. Nice.
Logger 7, descend to 9,000 feet, altimeter 3014.
Down to 9,000 feet, 3014, logger 007. 717.
Logger 7, turn left, heading 195.
Left 195, logger 7. So down to 9,000 feet. I need to keep the VS going down. 9,000 feet. Okay, let's set up a descent of 1600 will do for now.
Logger 7, contact Toronto, center 124.925.
Over to Toronto Centre on 124.925. Thank you. Goodbye. Toronto Centre. This is Log Air 7 with you at flight level 170 for 9,000.
Log Air 7, Toronto Centre identified.
Oh, okie dokie. Okay, so we're straight into Keke. Keke, we know we need to be at 2,500. 39 miles, so I think we need to get down quick. And speed again. This should be fairly straight in then, shouldn't it, really? You have to do a right turn onto the heading, and the runway was 224. Let me put in heading of 224. Not going to vector me. 224. I've got to go for 9, but then from 9 I've got to go down to 2.5. I don't know, their descents on beyond ATC are a little bit iffy.
Log Air 7, turn right, heading 210.
Right to 210, Log Air 7. Really? Is he gonna mess me around like last time? I don't want to go right to 210. Set my heading up for something else. So last time he got me to go off the line and then spent 3 or 4 directions trying to get me back on the line.
Log Air 7, turn right, heading 225.
Right, heading 225. I'm gonna do this, man, but it's gonna.
Log Air 7, contact Rochester approach 123.7.
Over to Rochester approach on 123.7. Thank you, goodbye. And this is a cack-handed way to come into Keke, isn't it? Rochester approach, this is Log Air 7 with you at 10,000 feet for 9,000. Need to come off.
Log Air 7, Rochester approach. Verify you have information. Oscar, altimeter 3014. Expect a visual approach, runway 22.
Visual approach.
Altimeter
ILS.
3014, expect a visual approach, runway 22, Log Air 7.
Log Air 7, turn left, heading 200.
Yeah, I know I need to go left now because you turned me right. Alright, Pratt. Log Air 7, turn left 200. Log Air 7. Seesawing again. Why have they got me doing a tower request ILS for runway 22?
Log Air 7, enable runway change at this time.
Not runway change, it's the same runway you Pratt.
Log Air 7, descend and maintain 4,000.
And a 4,000, Log Air 7. Yeah, beyond ATC, man. Request the ILS to runway 22.
Log Air 7, enable runway change at this time.
It's not a runway change. It's the same runway. Request ILS approach. I honestly beyond ATC.
Aircraft calling for new approach, set call sign.
Log Air 7 requesting same runway 22 ILS approach. It's not gonna handle it.
Log Air 7, confirm new approach, ILS runway 22.
Oh, it is then.
Affirmative, Log Air 7.
Log Air 7, Rochester approach, altimeter 3014. Expect radar vectors for ILS runway 22.
Altimeter 3014, expect radar vectors for ILS runway 22, Log Air 7.
Log Air 7, 15 miles from Keke, turn left, heading 190, maintain 2,500 feet until established on the final approach course, cleared ILS runway 22.
Yeah, he's left everything, hasn't he?
Turn
It wants me to go left and descend all at the same
2,500 feet
time.
until established, cleared ILS runway 22, Log Air 7.
A bunch of Pratts. We're at 6,000 feet. He said left 190, which I'm doing, but it's still not enough to get me. I'm gonna ignore him. Need to get back on the ILS man, or else we're never gonna make it. I have it in my computer, sunshine. So if you're not gonna give me the right vectors. Okay, we've got landing lights on. Let's go back to full RPM as we're on the approach now. It's fine. Now let's bleed off the speed. We've got 600 feet to go, but that's fine. We're a bit early now on the heights. Milner's capturing, so that's going to take us in. I'll come off ILS and still do manual landing once we're all lined up, but honestly, kind of bonkers really. I'm not that impressed with Beyond ATC. I'm having lots of... I mean, at Greenland they wanted us to take off from a runway with the wind behind us. And I don't understand, because it's taking Simbrief data and Navigraph, and both Simbrief and Navigraph at Greenland said use runway 6, and then Beyond ATC were like, no, use runway. And you never take off with the wind behind you, and it wasn't like 2 knots either, it was like 10, 12 knots or something, and they wanted to give me the wrong runway there. Anyway, we are inbounds. Airport's out here somewhere dead ahead of us, probably just seeing it now. Okay, so we need to get our speed down to 180 for gears and 170 for flat. Ito's arms, RPM is full, flaps and gear to go, altitude set to 5, ILS will hit the approach probably when we get to KROC. Well, in fact, probably can do it now. Approach is white, lock is white, so they'll go green when they get captured. There's the runway there actually. That's fine, let's keep the speed coming down just a little bit still. So it's about 13 miles to the airport, so we're a little bit far out yet for gears. That's fine. What do we want? 180 for gear, ideally, so 188, dropping slowly, that's fine. All looking good. Right, let's get in a proper seating position. Are you off, pilot? Sorry, I'm getting busy with that. First leg of your long haul to Canada is going to be 5 hours, hopefully the weather's nicer. It's pretty nice coming across last day or two for me. Runway just there, I think. Over the city a little bit first. So we're going to want to come off the left. We were going to go to like apron 300, weren't we, I think. So if we're coming in on this runway, you want to come off, well, Alpha 3, Alpha 2, wherever we land, and then backtrack to, that's going to be November Echo. We'll go to ramp 300 or something was the plan. Okay, ILS coming in.
Log Air 7, contact Rochester Tower 118.3.
Over to Tower 118.3, thank you, Log Air 7. Okay, let's go gear. It was diving me down quite a bit for this ILS. Speed drop a bit. Sure, let's do stage of flat. There goes. Right, probably want about 130 for the approach speed. And about 120 for VREF, but I think they wanted me VREF plus 5. Right, I'm going to go full flaps because then we're going to manual it. Okay, off autopilot. A little bit on the speed, nothing dramatic. Not too much. A little bit more speed, we're going a little bit low. A little bit low, speed. Speed, now I've gone high. Ooh, why is it doing that? Bit of a massive balloon there, sent me high. Back on track. Car park. Back on profile. It looks good. Don't have call outs on this. A little bit low, but that's for the jets, that's fine. Looking good. Looking good. Okay, off the speed a bit, yeah. Okay, love call outs in the plane. Oh, lovely. Lovely, off the centre line there after touchdown. Welcome to Rochester, United States. See you there. I'm off this next one. No spoilers or anything in this plane, of course, just flats and the brakes. Another default airport, we've got lights in the middle of the taxiways, good news. Okay.